What's up, guys? We are back another day, another podcast. Welcome to episode 9 of the Flip Side Podcast. Coming live to you from my bedroom. As always, I'm your host, Danny Flipper, and we're just here to dive into some NFL Week 2 action. We're going to be going over Week 2 NFL action, Week 3 NFL action as a degenerate gambler, an NFL fan, as well as a heavily invested fantasy owner. So, without further ado, let's get started with Danny's picks. So, as some of you may or may not know, I will be every single game of this 2021 NFL season. I'm going to make a pick before the game, and I'm going to pick against the spread. I'm doing this just for my own personal enjoyment and also just to be able to flex on some people. Who knows? But for right now, 2 weeks in, we are 20-12. That's a 63% win percentage. See, this is our picks for week 1. And then last week, these are our picks. The ones I'm really confident about. I like Las Vegas +6. They're a gritty team. They're not getting blown out of the water by anyone. Buffalo, people are going to say it was a trap of some sort, but I know they're going to win 35-0, but I knew they were going to try to walk all over their division rivals. San Fran, once again, everyone said it was a trap. I'm just calling out the Eagles on their bluff. New England was easiest money. If I were to put money on it, it would have been the easiest money. I loved that. Honestly, Tennessee, that was sus. I just took because of 6.5. It's a lot of points, but they should not have won that game. They should not have been that close. But overall, not too bad. Not too shabby. We are 10-6, back-to-back weeks. We'll take that. Maybe I have to start throwing money on it. But, when you start throwing money on it, that's when your luck starts to turn. So that's why I probably will not be doing that. And I will gladly enjoy just being able to shit on people like Scone when he says that he's so good at betting. I'm like, oh, yeah? But, all right, let's see. Let's get now, let's dive into an NFL recap. Okay, so there we go. So these are the games this past weekend. Let's see if I can do anything. Okay, how about a little bit of this, a little bit of that. There we go. Okay. So just a little recap. Not going to go too deep into these. Whatever. It was a typical Sunday in the league. No real surprises here. The Raiders was kind of a surprise, I suppose. They're a great team. Texans were fighting for their lives until Tyrod Taylor went down. Saints as a surprise. Dolphins kind of a surprise. Jets, that was not a surprise. We know they blow donkey dick. I'm sorry, Scum. Besides that, there really were not too many surprises. Not all too many, but we'll just dive into our takeaways from the week 2 of the NFL season. So we got the 3 winners. We have the Raiders. Okay, so we have the Raiders, the Ravens, the Panthers. The reason I say this is that the Raiders are looking like they're going against Tua with the Dolphins without Tua week 3. They very easily can go 3-0 to start the season. 2 gritty wins against 2 AFC North teams that made the playoffs last year that are expected to make the playoffs this year. That's all you need. That's all you can ask for in the first season with fans in Las Vegas, first actual Las Vegas season for the Raiders. They're looking good. And Derek Carr is getting the job done. I think they can get 11 wins, go 11-6. I think they sneak into the playoffs. And I think it's a team that no one really wants to see. People forget that like 4 years ago, they were a very good team. Before Derek Carr snapped his leg, they were a very good team. And he was an MVP candidate. And really all they lost since then, they had Amari Cooper, but now they have Waller. Now they have Bryan Edwards who can make those big plays. They have Ruggs who can make those 70-yard touchdown plays down the field. Just toss it up and hope he's down there. Like, they have a decent offense. They have Josh Jacobs. Kenyon Drake as a complimentary back. I like that offense. The offensive line stinks, sucks donkey dick, but who knows? I mean, they're definitely not too shabby. Definitely going to prove some people wrong when they start 3-0. Next, we got the Ravens. I mean, after seeing how sloppy that they played last week, week 1, everyone and their mother knew that the Chiefs were winning this game. I didn't really get to watch all too much. I watched the recap afterwards, and it looks like, I mean, it's kind of hard for Mahomes to put up that stat line and lose. It's also hard to hold my homeboys, and the Chiefs to 0 points, a goose egg in the fourth. So respect given where respect is due. JD Norris, Bird Gang, congratulations. You guys played a hard-fought game. But yeah, everyone and their mother thought that the Chiefs were winning that and that the Ravens were going to go 0-2. And then you would have had JD being like, oh, just tank, the season's over. Oh. Shut up. Shut up. You too, Oakley, shut up. And then the last one, we got the Panthers. The Panthers, they're a big winner because, I mean, everyone thought that the Saints were coming for the NFC South after thrashing Rodgers and the Packers. I don't even know what to say about the Saints. Just what the fuck. Panthers look solid. It's always pretty easy when you have a top 3 quarterback feeding the best offensive weapon in the game, and you have receivers like DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Terrence Marshall Jr. at your disposal. They're going to score points. They're also a big wiener. They are big wieners, but they are bigger winners because they get the short week, but then that leads to the long week. They're playing the Texans on Thursday Night Football with Davis Mills. Davis Mills is going to be starting. I think if Tyrod Taylor's playing, I think the Texans have a fighting shot to beat them. I mean, before he got hurt, looked like they were on path to beat the Browns. Don't look now. Tyrod Taylor is the 4th best passer rating in the league, behind my homeboy Matt Stafford and Russell Wilson, who are all pretty good at the game of football. So they're definitely the winners of that. They're going to go 3-0 most likely, unless Davis Mills, I don't know. I mean, Deshaun Watson, his first career start, Thursday Night Football against a mediocre Bengals team. They won. You look how that goes. So you never know, but the Panthers are looking at a very easy 3-0 start. They're not winning the division. The Buccaneers are. I'm sorry, regardless of what happens Sunday. But they shown some fight. Starting 3-0 is a very promising new way to start with the new regime with Matt Rule. But and I'm saying new regime because he actually has a full off season getting his own guys in a draft. And shout out to JC Horn. Good old cock. 3 losers. We got the Dolphins, the Vikings, and the Seahawks. The Dolphins just are, come on, your offense stinks. I don't want to touch anyone in that offense with a 10-foot pole. Tua stinks. Like, you guys are going against the Raiders. We're trending up. You guys are trending. So they're about to go in 3. Next, got the Vikings. They played a very good game. Where are you? You sneaky bastard. There we go. The Vikings, 2 very close games, a kick that lost in the game and lost in overtime. They very easily could be 2-0 in a very shaky division. Now we not know what is up with Rodgers, but now they're 0-2. Now it looks like it's going to be hard for them to make playoffs. They're going to have to make a run. Hard break. They could be 1-1 very easily, 2-0. The Seahawks, I mean, they're just in the best division in football. The rest of the division is 2-0. They're 1-1, and they needed that win. They were up the entire game. Don't know how they let them get back into it. Do not know how you are playing the Titans and they're down and they need to air the ball out because they need to score. And you still let Derrick Henry put up like everything on you. Put up everything. Put up 47 fantasy points. Put up like 200 yards, 3 touchdowns. It's absurd. But after that, my takeaways from the NFL season is that the Raiders, they could be sneaky good. They can upset some teams. They could be play spoiler. I could see them beating teams that they are not supposed to beat later in the year. Definitely a team you don't want to see in December. Another takeaway: Saints and Dolphins. The fuck? What the fuck? Are you good? Are you bad? Do you suck? Are you gonna get a top 5 pick, or are you gonna make the playoffs? I don't know. I don't know. Another takeaway: the Buccaneers are still the best team in the NFL, but I do think that the Rams are not far behind. We got a great showdown this weekend between them two, and can't wait for it. Things to look forward to. Thursday Night Football, we have a stud quarterback duel in Sammy D against Davis Mills. That game's gonna stink. That game's gonna PU. That thing's gonna need Febreze all up in that bitch. That is going to be a PU stinker of a game. Also, hopefully, maybe Saints can bounce back against New England. Really early in the season, call make or break. But I think if they lose to New England, who I don't think is that great, start to panic. Like, how do you take Sean Payton and you have Drew Brees was your quarterback who threw for all the yards, every yard in the world he threw for. He breaking all these records, yards in a season, yards in a career, touchdown passes, whatever, you name it. How do you have a guy like James Winston who can throw for 6,000 yards, can throw for 40 touchdowns, can air the ball out? And you got, granted, maybe the game script wasn't in their favor. The first game, they only threw for 158 yards or whatever. But you are down the entire game against the Panthers, who are not that great at football. You total 111 air yards. How does that happen? You're not Jimmy Garoppolo. You're not Andy Dalton. You're Jameis. Just close your eyes and someone's open. 111 yards. Another thing to look forward to is the Titans are going to be -5 against the Colts. Divisional games are always close. 5, I think, is a lot. I don't think the Titans look that great. They stunk 2 weeks ago, and Derrick Henry saved them last week. Then we have 2 games that could be the best games of the first month or 2 of the season. We have the Rams against the Buccaneers, and we have Green Bay against San Fran. These are games that we could be seeing in January, and I think they'll be good ones. I can't wait. They're 4:25 and 8 o'clock respectively. We also have Seahawks -1.5 against the Vikings. Trap Central. I don't care. I'm still going to touch it. -1.5 against the Vikings. The Vikings. And then we got the 2-0 Raiders traveling to Miami, and they're -3.5 against the Dolphins and Jacoby Brissett. So I like that. I like that for the team. I like that as a bettor. I like that as a fantasy owner. So next, speaking of fantasy, we're going to dive right in to the Upsilon Fantasy Football League. Let's see. Let's get this bad boy out of the way. So definitely, definitely still early. We have some people hitting the panic button. Me as an 0-2 owner, I personally am not hitting the panic button because I like my team a lot. Let's look at the full standings up in this bitch. Let's see. Come on. 217. Nice. All right. Okay, we have oh, there it is. So we're looking through the rankings right now. Let's see if we can do this. Oh yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go. So dive into the standings. We have the very even 4-2-0 teams, 4-1-1 teams, 4-0-2 teams. We have JD, Tug, Spellman, and somehow, some way, Stone. Those are the 2-0 teams. Then we have Pern, Kunpunt, Barnes, Beach, and Pern 1-1. And then we have the 0-2 teams, me, Tucker's daddy, Tucker, and Skull Teddy. What I'm going to give my take on these out of each team that I like the most and I like the least out of each threshold. The team that I like the most in the 2-0 teams, I probably would say is tied for 2 Bills, 1 Cup, and Fresh Ground Pepper. Fresh Ground Pepper had literally the best performance you could have possibly asked for. I think everyone on his team scored like 16 or more. Tip the cap, but also trading away Deontay Johnson for a bag of chips. We'll see how that goes. But he's undefeated, so he justifies every move he'll ever make because he's undefeated. But I do like 2 Bills, 1 Cup better. I think they're better head to toe. 2 teams I lost to first 2 weeks. Tip your cap. Team I like the least out of the undefeated teams. Surprise, surprise. The team that is number 4 in the standings, but if there was the height standings, he would be way down here. Little Scone. Scone, yeah, we're gonna hear it a million times. You're undefeated, but your team's just not that good. I'm sorry, you put up 106 points this week. You got lucky. You played a guy who barely hit a triple digits. Wins are wins, though. Let's see. In the 1-on-1 teams, I like the best. I like Field of Pern. I think that Pern has a very solid team. I think that his team has been a little underwhelming recently, but it's a long season. And the team I like the least is Punt Punt, only because Ronald Jones is his RB1. I tried making a trade with him. Tried saying, hey, you like Melvin Gordon? You like Chase Edmonds, James Conner? No, he's good with Ronald Jones. Good with the backup on a pass-heavy offense. You do you, Jimbo. And then we have the Owens. Team I like the most is me. Obviously, why the hell would I not like my team? I like my team the most out of everyone in the league. I definitely like it more out of the other 3 bums that are on 2. And I can't really say much because I'm on 2. Team I like the least. Maybe Tucker's daddy. He made a trade that I still haven't really processed in my mind, so I don't know what it seems going to look like. But it doesn't help that OBJ's flex. He's been hurt. Doesn't help that. Let's just look at his team. Let's look at Andy's team. I guess you could say they're gritty, but gritty nowadays in this group chat has been synonymous with stinky. I mean, yeah, you got OBJ being hurt definitely does not help his case. Outside of that, I don't think he has any starters on his bench. Maybe Gaskin later in the season, not right now. Leo 13.6. You know he's going to get you 10. Goddard, he could have had Hawkinson. Hawkinson was the next pick. CH, we have no idea what he's going to do. Robert Woods is the number 2 guy on his team. Cortland Sutton had a shit ton of targets the other day, but we'll see how long that lasts until the Jew comes back. Oh, great. No. Get out of here. Oh, all right. All right. And then that takes us to the overall standings. Let's take a gander. My notes that I have for this week, the fantasy roundup. Let's see if we can go to matchups. Nah, I really don't care. Things to note, JD and I with an early candidate for a game of the year. It was like 170 something to like 165. I think I lost by like 8. Didn't help that Lamar put up 10 points as a passer, but he put up 22 points as a running back. And then going into, I needed Aaron Jones to outscore Hawkinson by about 30 points, and that wasn't too far off. He had like mid 40s and 4-touchdown game. At one point, I made it like a 4-point game, and Hawkinson came down, had 2 dump balls in garbage time, and then they didn't play Aaron Jones the rest of the game. So that's that to the cap. What I also would like to know is that Scone is 2-0, but Scone has the 3rd least points scored. Scone also has the third least points scored against him. There's a team that I don't want to buy stock in. It's Scone knows. Scone knows that he ain't going to last. He ain't not going to last. I'll tell you that much. Another thing to note is that team as easy as CD, as easy as ABCD, we are 0-2. But I am not worried because I have the second most points scored. But I have the second most points against. Lovely. Nothing you can do about it. Put up like 120 and Aaron Jones had a dud. Then I put up like 118, which is meh. That should be a loss. And then I put up 165. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and complain because I know I'm gonna see myself in the playoffs. Don't matter. Another thing I want to look at is that Pern after the draft looked great. I thought that he was like a top 2 or so team, but right now, Field of Pern has the second least points scored. I mean, it's still early. Obviously, I like his team a lot. You're not going to panic after 2 weeks. Just saying that was something to point out there that I thought his team was very good on draft night. I thought that he drafted very well. Also, granted, we were back-to-backs and sat next to each other during the draft, so I kind of saw his entire strategy and was picking his brain apart. And I like how he went. I like his team. And I think that, Pern, if you're watching this, you're going to look me in the eyes right now, and we're going to agree. The team's got to step up. Those guys, they go in the locker room, they got no morale. Morale's low. I just used that word incorrectly before, but we're going to ignore that. You need that it guy to step into your locker room and get a culture change. Okay? Pern. Okay. Better see you higher in the standings soon. Then, if we would just like to look at this, Tucker. Two words, Mickey Mouse. We're just gonna go past that. Man, he's less than 200 points. He's averaging less than 200. He's averaging less than 100 points per game. Come on now. Come on. I actually think that last week JD might have had more points than Tucker's had in 2 weeks. Tucker's 2 weeks, he has like 8 more points than I scored last week. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. Tucker, if you want to unload guys on the low, let me know. Hit my line. It's a bullying strategy. It worked with you, Kenyon Drake, 2 years ago. It's going to work now. Teams that should worry. I would say Team Tucker. That's obviously the easiest answer. Comes around saying the King, week 1, the King, 0-2, less than 100 points average per game. The King. I think that Sittler put a question mark after that also because he has like some weird injuries, but he also had some weird selections. Draft night, like Goddard over Hawkinson was just like, come on, that's a no-brainer. Anyone after Hawkinson, maybe, yeah, I could see Goddard up there, but Hawkinson, like, we knew he was going to be this good of a tight end. I wanted him, but I knew that I had a pick and I wouldn't pick in 2 rounds. And if I didn't reach on Kittle in the 3rd, which I still like, I think he's just had a mediocre time so far. Hopefully Trey Lance takes over. I think he's going to boom. But if I didn't take him there, I would be ending up with maybe Logan Thomas. Or maybe ended up with a Jonnu Smith, Tyler Higbee. So I'm still content with that. But Sittler, there is some room to worry just because he has some guys that are, I don't think he has, outside of CMC, granted he counts as like 2 players. I don't think he has a single guy on his team that is the number 1 player on his team, on like their NFL team. CH is barely their RB1. It stinks. Robert Woods is not the WR1 on that team. Cortland Sutton is not the WR1 on that team. I mean, I guess he is. I guess he is now because of injuries, but there's also just so many head speed. Before this trade, he just made he had Tim Patrick in his flex. That was just so grimy. got some injuries. I think that OBJ is going to have a solid year when he comes back, but we don't know when he's come back. So that's that. And then obviously the team that has to worry is the team that has to worry every single week of every single season they'll ever be a part of because of their draft strategies. And that is Team Cunt Punt by James Barnes. I mean, you simply you have Ronald Jones as your RB1. That man right now is playing like he shouldn't even be on an NFL roster or a fantasy roster. We're starting on a fantasy team, but it's okay. It's okay. I know he's going to do a bunch of trades. I don't really want to get near him after last year. He screwed me over. So we'll see how it goes. Next, you know, he's going to flip Waller for like 5 players. Waller's going to get hurt, and everyone else on that team is going to bust. Like, I don't really know. Not really much else I could say about that. Let's see. What are we looking into now? Let's see the matchups for this week. Oh, no. We got to dive into the trade talk. Trade talk. Let's see. Transactions. Yep. Transaction. We're going to do trades, and I'm going to see if you made a trade this week. You better hope that you come out on the Flippers winning side, or else you might be doomed. Okay. So we're going to start with the first trade that happened this week. I mean, yeah, JD's his rebuttal is gonna be, too low. I finally know what half PPR is. I know it's gonna be his rebuttal, and kudos to him. He just dropped 175 on my dome. But this trade, I mean, I just think that Tucker wins. I mean, he's given up. It's more of just, I think that JD, maybe hindsight, maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe JD knows the new team name. Maybe he knows that Darrell Henderson's out the next 8 to 10 weeks. If so, he looks like a genius, but it says that Darrell Henderson it's not a major injury. He's still projected a good amount of points. They said they're going to find out Friday when they reevaluate him. So I really don't know how much time he's going to miss. Sonny Michel, I dropped him a week and a half ago. Like, I just don't understand the thought process of, you talked about Darrell Henderson. You're saying how everyone's shitting on you. Oh, Darrell Henderson, he looks like the guy now. Why wouldn't you handcuff him? Sonny Michel was available. You didn't. And now you're taking Cordell Patterson, who, like, yes, he's putting up good numbers, but he's just not sustainable in my eyes. Like, 7 carries each game. Yesterday he went 7 for 11. Granted, he somehow got a touchdown. That must have been the biggest vulture job of the century. And he had 5 for 58. But, like, I think his target share that he's getting right now is just not sustainable. And the fact that he scored 2 touchdowns last week and ended up with 24, yeah, he has boom potential, but he also has huge bust potential. I would not feel confident starting him. That's just me. I like Jacoby Myers. I think he gets peppered. I think he's the number 1 receiver on their team. He has like 7.5 targets a game, I think. But that's a lot for Deontay Johnson. Or, I mean, a little to give up for Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is a pepper machine. And I don't know. Yeah, I know you have Mike Will. Yeah, I know you have Brandon Cooks. So I think that you could have gotten a very similar return for Brandon Cooks instead of Deontay Johnson. I don't know how deep the injury is, but I'm going to say for right now, Tucker won that. Tucker got his guy that he was going to keep in the 9th round, and instead he got him for a bag of chips. He got him for a guy he picked up, and a guy he drafted very late. So I think that Team Norris, they got a little taste of victory, a little taste of dominance, and is scared of losing that. Safe choice, I guess, if Darrell Henderson is out for a while. But I personally think that you could have got that same exact return for like Mike Williams and your backup running back. All I'm saying. So right now, Tucker wins that, especially Tucker's team stinks. So that getting rid of bench guys for a starter definitely helps when your team stinks. Next one. So yeah, this happened. I mean, Cortland Sutton with no Jerry Judy, he's gonna be the guy. I was a little weary about it. I didn't want to jump on him in another league because he only had like 3 targets the week before. He had 12 targets this week. He's gonna be the guy, yes. But it's kind of like a weird ticking time bomb because if you're sitting there, so you I'm just trying to process this. Okay, so you take CH who just stinks. Okay. I know it's only week 3, so people are still going to be addicted to the ADP. And I drafted him here. I want to get this in return. Yeah, what he was like a 21st pick or like early 3rd pick, maybe 3rd round. But come on, man. Like his one saving grace is that like, oh, his red zone touch share is low and that's not sustainable. Like he's got to start getting more looks on the goal line. But does he? Does he? When you have Travis Kelce, a touchdown machine, you have Tyreek Hill, who is the most athletic and speedy guy in the league. You can put him anywhere, get a little no look behind the back pass, Pat Mahomes action, and he's going to be wide open. Go, so, I mean, they just don't really have much confidence in him. I like that after week 1, he had like 15 carries. Mahomes had 3, and the next had 1. So they're trying to make him a bell cow, but to be a bell cow, you actually got to be good. Maybe I think Andy Reid's going to turn him around. But like from what I've seen the last 2 weeks is they just all they do are the runs are just right between the guards, right up the gaps. Like you have such a great like the amount of times you could just close your eyes right now. If you're listening to this podcast, close your eyes. Imagine Patrick Mahomes. Check. Tyreek. One of his fucking Kermit the Frog voice. Check. Takes it, fakes the handoff, rolls out right, and he just scrambling around on his back foot, just bing, throws a laser. Like he does that all the time. Oakley, shut up. He rolls out all the time, play action. Why don't you try to incorporate that into your run game instead of just doing runs right up the middle? Do some powers to the left, to the right, some sweeps, some tosses, anything. I think CH can get it going because he's the number 1 running back and the true bell cow and one of the best offenses in the league. And it's such a great pass offense that you assume that they would have a good run because you have to stay true to the pass. And you don't want Mahomes throwing an 80-yard bomb over your dome. So you'd rather give up a 12-yard rush by CH, but that's just not happening. Gaskin, I like, obviously. He's my guy, the gas can. I just don't like anyone in the Dolphins offense right now. I'm really mad that in another league we drafted first week of August and I took him in like the early 5th round. He just is not that right now. And then you gave up Joe Mixon, who was a early 2nd round pick. Definitely one of the better running backs in fantasy to have. Mark Ingram is, I mean, nothing. Absolutely, really nothing to this trade because, I mean, Forms, you are never starting Mark Ingram ever. Ever. If you look at me right now and say, yes, I am, shut up. You're lying to yourself. You're not starting Mark Ingram ever. And then you got a nice stash and save guy in Jerry Judy, but at the very moment right now, I guess you can argue that Sittler won the trade, I guess. But in the long run, Corms is going to win it because Corms is going to have a pretty good RB2, and he's going to have, if Judy is anything, maybe a solid WR2, if not a great flex. Granted, he did give up on CH, but I mean, CH just stinks. And Gaskin just, I like him. Week 1 led the team in targets and carries and catches. But Tua stinks. Brissett stinks. I don't want to touch anyone in that offense. So that's really that. See anything else we can really go over? Maybe look at let's see if we can go over the matchups for this week. Let's see. All right, well, I was bugging the hell out. Okay, let's see what we got going. Here are the rankings. We have JD projected finish first, Doo Poopers second, Smoking a J 3, I'm at 4. I don't really get that because yesterday I was at 3. I guess my $20 KJ Osborne thing was really brought me down. You'd see that. Let's get to the matchups. Scoreboard. All right. Yes, sir. Let's see it. Very nice. Very good. Okay. Projections for this week. Well, me against the long ball Larry. Projected to win by 2 points. We'll see how that goes. Looks like Poo Poo and AJ will have a solid game according to projections, which mean nothing. If I was a betting man, I'd take Field of Pern as the underdog this week. Also, if I was a betting man, I would take everything I have and make sure to not put it on Scone Nose because that team is just booty. You're projected. Yep. I also would stay away from D-Rob's punishment. Probably should start changing that to Sculptetti's punishment because he's about to go 0-3. 0-3. You're wash. You stink. You're Owen. 0-3. Owen Curry. Chef Curry. Owen Wilson. 0-3. D-Rob's punishment. You're garbage. 2 Bills, 1 Cup. I don't know how in the hell in the world he's projected 120-ish. One of the most. Let's see. Yeah, that's just so ugly. That is so ugly. Ew. Ew. Okay, yeah, never mind. It makes sense, I guess. Yeah, so I mean, that's really that. That probably concludes the end of our episode. It's a great time. I'll be back Friday. I'll do some projections for the week. So we can do where Flipper was right, where Flipper was wrong. Once again, this podcast is a joke, not a dick. Don't take it so hard. Scone, Judy, whoever I might have offended. I mean, that's really that. Yeah, good show. And thank you for tuning in, staying on. And I will catch y'all hopefully on Friday with some weekend forecast. Until then, be good. Catch you on the flip side. We out.